and we are very happy, all of us from AWS Mining Corporate. We are very happy to have you with us, and we want to announce that you are the new and the first vice president in our affiliate program. So congratulations.
Yes, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great, Cynthia. Doing great.
Wonderful.
Welcome to AWS Elite, man. We got some special guests and some people that are just showing up for the first time, but I thank you. I'm Josiah, Mr. Therapy Kostek, and our special guest, somebody I look up to immensely. I'm learning more about her every day, Miss Cynthia Petion, founder of AWS Team Nova. And if you're learning more, jump on facebook.com/AWS Mining Team Nova. Make sure you follow her because there's so much value there. It'll blow your socks off. She's been doing this for quite some time. She's built an amazing team. I'll let her talk about how much she's earned, in her own right. But she's had a lot of success in the digital currency world, and she's going to tell us a little bit about it. And I'm very humbled and honored to have you here with us today, ma'am. How are you doing, Ms. Petion?
I am doing wonderful, thank you. That's an amazing introduction, actually. I have been involved with AWS Mining since about May of last year. They launched publicly in August. Okay. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, the way we got introduced to it is the owner, Mr. Badusky, who you guys will see quite a bit of. He's extremely involved in the day-to-day activities and very transparent. Everybody knows who he is. He came to a partner of mine that I also work with. Her name is Deborah. And he was looking for some assistance and getting some marketing done. And he had just wanted to start this company and launch it, and wanted to find ways to possibly introduce it in the US and talk about exchanges and some other things. And she said right away, you want to talk to Cynthia. And I got involved in doing marketing for them and some videos, some translations, and started like that. So he was actually in Australia and China at the time, setting up the offices, buying more equipment, doing a lot of that other stuff. So we saw a lot of the background work that went with setting up this company, and a lot of effort. I mean, you're talking about being in the offices and saying hi to the receptionist live on WhatsApp, just to kind of include us in everything that was going on. So we were very impressed at the amount of effort and work that was going into it, but more importantly, we could see that it was real. And that was very, very important to us, because my husband and I dibbled and dabbled in a couple of online businesses when we first got introduced to cryptocurrency, because we're like, wow, look at this market and it's booming and look how quickly we can make money. And not, there was a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, and there still are to this day. So, and we got caught up in some of that also and lost money, and saw friends and stuff lose money. And so it was very important to find something that we knew was legitimate and honest and sincere, and we found all of that in AWS Mining. So when they launched publicly in August, we decided to stay on, and I bought the very first mining plan with the company, and we haven't looked back. Mr. Corbett, who we have on the line here today, our team leader here in the US, he bought one of the first plans with us. We actually met online on Facebook. And a lot of us just formed a bond through groups on Facebook, and we're able to, when we found this opportunity, just decide to kind of bring it in together. It was a small group of us, Jim, I don't think it was more than a dozen of us that decided to try this opportunity. And today they're supervisors, managers, heading towards director on our team. So one of the things we've always said, we entered into the market not to compete with other high yips, high yield investment programs, or scammy type companies. We entered into the market in order to compete with the big box names in mining, Genesis, Hashflare, Hashing24. Matter of fact, if you go on netbusinessrating.com right now, we're listed number 4 or 5 in the entire world. And we've passed Hashing24, which is a huge feat for us because they were one of our major competitors coming in. And, a lot of people were skeptical about it. I would talk to people about it, and they're like, what's AWS mining? Never heard of it. Of course you didn't hear about it. We just got started. Right. But grown very quickly in the market, now in 70 countries. Our team is the largest and fastest growing team, and extremely proud of that. Everybody here, is just authentic and caring. And I really consider it one big family. We're not just online business people, but we have WhatsApp groups. We can't even keep them in check because they keep maxing out and we're having to start new ones to fill them up again. But, you know, we came into the market with a very competitive return on your investment, along with an affiliate program that was tied into it that a lot of our competitors weren't offering, and a real-time live payment system. I always say this, but our back office acts as a virtual ATM. Your money is yours. We don't hold it. We don't charge fees for it. You just come in, make money, have fun, and grow with a group of people that are like-minded and looking to just grow a good, solid, legitimate business.
Yeah.
And relationships.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So if I can ask, I'll go ahead and throw a few questions at you. Obviously, you know, we don't start out in network marketing. Most of us had 9-to-5s and factory jobs and burger flippers and stuff. What did you do before you got into network marketing, and what kind of brought you into the cryptocurrency, Ms. Petion?
Well, I actually spent the past 17 years working for one of the largest graphic sales providers in the entire country. I was a salesperson. I've always hated sales, but for some reason I was just good at it. But, you know, to me, again, if you're offering a product that you really like and you think other people should use it, it doesn't even really become sales. But I was the one printing banners for Macy's during their Thanksgiving sales. You walk into Chanel or J. Crew or any of those high-end stores and you see the graphics on the walls. That's what I was doing. And it's funny because it was extremely time consuming. Although the projects were a lot of fun and you've got all these high-end clients and it was a really good New York City salary, trust me. I just couldn't stand doing it anymore. I didn't like getting phone calls on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the morning because somebody drove a truck through Chanel and all of a sudden they need graphics to hide the broken window. I'm like, we're not delivering babies here. I just find that I was losing a quality of life that I really wanted. And I wanted to be able to, although I was working from home, I wasn't spending any quality time with my kids, my family, or whatever, doing the things that I would like to do. So when we got introduced to our first network marketing, which was Kyani, it just seemed like a really good way to make some extra cash. We weren't really thinking anything about it, but when we saw how the industry can grow income fairly simply, you know, a lot of times they tell you people fail, but it's just because the effort, I think, isn't honestly put into it. You know, we grew through the ranks very quickly, but there's nothing involved there that you're doing that anyone can't do.
I agree.
And then very shortly afterwards got introduced to cryptocurrency, tied into all that, and forget it. It was just a game changer. We never looked back, never did anything else. I don't sleep now. I mean, I don't know if Jim will tell you, but
She doesn't.
I don't. I sleep with one eye open. I maybe have 2 or 3 hours, but it's only because we're in so many different countries and different time zones. But one of the things I love, guys, about this, and I'm sure John and anybody can tell you, is that your ability to help other people in this line of business is beyond any reach or any kind of line of business that you can do. I mean, you're talking about, we have plans starting at just $40. With a $40 purchase or investment, you can literally go on to make hundreds or thousands of dollars a week, a day. It's in totally your control. I remember one of the first people I signed up was a lady in Uganda, and she couldn't even afford the $40 package to come in, guys. I'll tell you the truth. But I liked her and she was willing to work. I paid the $40 just for her to come on. She started bringing leader after leader after leader from countries all around the world who know network marketing. They like her, you know, they trusted her. They listened to us. They liked our program and joined. And now she's one of our top executives in the company. And she's able to pay her rent where she couldn't. Even a refrigerator had to get replaced in her house. She wasn't able to afford to do so until she met with us. So just the fact that you're able to help people who wouldn't normally even be able to do what we do. I mean, every single one of you guys can be working from home, can be making a ridiculous amount of residual income, passive income, even if it's $500 a week. I mean, who couldn't use that? But you can make diamond money in this company that what would be considered diamond money in other traditional MLM companies, you can make it like that in the cryptocurrency market. So it's just about, you know, and what's nice about it is that not everybody is familiar with it. So you're kind of getting in at the beginning of the game. But I don't worry about the ones who say, cryptocurrency is a scam, or, I don't know, it's been around for 10 years, people are paying their bills with it. So
Yes.
it's kind of hard pressed to convince me that it's not real. But, I think in the US in particular, it's a kind of a mindset that's a little harder to change. A lot of other countries have been doing it for years and years and years and are a lot more open-minded about it. But I don't care. I'm having a great time proving people wrong. So,
hey, Cynthia, can you go over just a little bit, touch on, because there's a lot of newbies here that
yes.
really don't understand. I've gotten a lot of questions like they don't understand what mining is and how it actually forms the Bitcoin and the process of
Good. Yeah, that's
of
a good
getting
one.
paid out from what mining is, mining rigs, and how AWS.
Right. So that's an excellent question. So cryptocurrency is, as you guys may be familiar with, is basically digital online currency, right? It's not a physical coin that you're holding, it resides on the internet. But when you think about your 401k, any plan that you have, how much of us are actually walking around with a whole bunch of physical cash that they've handed out to? It all resides on the internet, right?
Mm.
There's several different ways that you can actually earn income with it. And the first is, you can just buy coins and hold them. And I always recommend that people do that. If you have a good coin and it's doing well in the market, buy it, hold it, and over time as it grows, you have an investment that's growing along with you. Another way to earn income with it is trading. All right, a lot of people trade. To me, I don't really have the patience for trading. When you think about Forex or anything like that, that's all trading that's being done. Requires you to buy low, sell high, watch the market. No one's a good time to buy and sell. For some reason, I just have that kind of luck that any coin I buy, doesn't matter how good it's doing, it starts to decline very rapidly after I buy it. And that also requires a bit of patience that I just don't have. Now, mining is another aspect of how you can earn income with cryptocurrency, in that cryptocurrency itself is not regulated by any government. It's not owned by any bank, any countries, or anything like that. So it's the users themselves that have to control the volume of it, the sales of it, the validations of it. And I actually, I was at a cryptocurrency event summit in Manhattan this weekend, and I like the way one of the speakers, keynote speakers, mentioned it. He was like, Bitcoin and digital currencies entered into the market around 2008, when we were having one of the largest recessions or depressions really in the US. The housing market was crashing. People were losing their homes. They were losing their jobs. Healthcare was almost non-existent for a lot of people. And the introduction of cryptocurrency was a big shoe up the butt, to the banks and, Wall Street and stuff like that, who was one of the driving factors behind, people losing their homes and the market going to ish and everything else. So we started this random cryptocurrency just as a way to avoid having to deal with the banks. And it has grown tremendously over time. But guess what? It still has to be kept safe somehow. Blockchain acts as a ledger that records every single transaction from the beginning of time on this huge ledger that online that everyone has access to. Every sale, trade, moving from wallet to wallet. And that process all has to be kept safe some way, and those are validations that have to be done. So the same way I send money to you via Wells Fargo, PNC, whatever, the banks are sitting there validating the transactions to make sure you have an existing account, I have an existing account, the funds that you're trying to send are there. That's the role that the miners play, and it's a very important role because they're the ones who keep the network safe. So anytime a transaction is done using any kind of digital currency, whether it's Monero or Zcash or Bitcoin, and it goes from one wallet to another, a sale, a trade, or transfer, anything like that, there's a series of validations that has to be done before it can be released. That validation is what the process of mining is. It's done through mining rigs, which are nothing more than computers. If you guys go online on our YouTube channel, you'll see actually what they look like in our farms. But it's just a regular computer that's optimized for digital coin mining. And they last a couple of years. They're very expensive. They can be several $1,000s actually in order to buy one. But every single time a a transaction is verified or validated, and that's done by having to solve mathematical problems. So every one of these computers are solving all these mathematical problems, and when it's able to do so, it's paid a commission. And that commission is what we as miners are earning as income. So it doesn't matter what the value of the coin is. A coin could be worth 10,000, it could be worth $10. We're still getting paid because we're getting paid for our proof of work. AWS Mining owns over 20,000 of these mining rigs or these computers, and they're held in 5 data centers, currently opening up a 6th one in Russia in the next 30 to 60 days.
Wow.
And every single one of these 20,000 machines is validating transactions all day long. So when you become a customer of AWS Mining, essentially what you're doing is you're buying a mining plan and telling us how much mining power you want to purchase, and that mining power determines what your earnings are. And you're essentially entering into a pool to collect from the profits that these machines are generating, if that makes sense to everybody.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I believe, like, you know, when you send and receive Bitcoin, there's fees. So those transaction fees are part of what I believe Cynthia was talking about. So we get part of those transaction fees for validating it, mining.
Right. Not only, I mean, there's a portion of the fee that's paid out, but the process of mining itself creates additional.
Actually creates the coins, and there's multiple coins. So the validation, you know, so that's I think the hardest thing for people to wrap around their head, because when you say mining, they're thinking of somebody digging gold, you know, like the old gold diggers, you know, and that's a great analogy. You know, people were mining for gold, and they were, you know, digging and finding a vein. And like Cynthia said, these mining rigs that AWS has that we lease, they go out and do these mathematical equations and validate it, and that's how we mine the coin.
Right. Well, if you want to hear something funny, I spent the first 3 months doing marketing for this company, and I still didn't understand what the heck he was talking about, Mr. Badusky. He just kept saying we're mining, and I just didn't understand the whole concept of it. I was still fairly new to Bitcoin. But if you take a look at here, this is an example of what a mining rig or Antminer, which are the ones we buy most recently, look like. So it's really just a computer, and it's running all day long, and you're able to validate transactions and collect Bitcoins. From what I understand, just one of these collects about 0.1 Bitcoins a month, give or take. So you figure if you have 20,000 of them, it's quite significant. We don't nearly have enough members to utilize all of the equipment that we're running. And in addition to that, we're buying new equipment all the time, because as the old ones become less efficient, you have to add new ones onto the lineup as well.
Right, right. And these come with just huge rooms with these just row after row after row, shelf after shelf, right?
Right.
Right.
I actually have some pictures of that also for those of you who aren't familiar. But I visited the mining farm that we have in Paraguay, which was set up specifically for our members to be able to come in there and see the machines and touch them and know what they feel like and see how they operate. We were even doing energy tests, because one thing people don't realize is that these machines eat up an enormous amount of electricity.
Yeah.
And very taxing on the environment. It becomes very expensive to run if you're not controlling your energy costs, because, you know, 0.1 Bitcoin really isn't a huge amount, and it can get eaten up very easily just from, you know, your energy consumption. Here, I'm gonna do another share with you guys, but
Sure.
this is actually taken inside the farm, okay? And this is basically what it's set up as. So you see these computers are just lined up one after the other, and every single one of them is running. It gives off an enormous amount of heat. Anybody who's watching the videos that I did online, you can barely even hear anything I was saying. I was like screaming over the mic, which made for a very tough time, but
I got
you know, but they're actually pretty, you know, Mr. Badusky, when you're visiting a farm, he likes to turn out the lights, and it ends up being like a big discotheque in there.
That's sweet.
But yeah, they're all lit up, they're all running, and it's kind of cool just to actually, especially in this day and age when there's so many online marketing schemes surrounded around cryptocurrency, and people like to blame the cryptocurrency. But when you think about the housing market, whenever there's money to be made, you're going to find people who are going to take advantage of the market. You know, even the housing market, there's nothing, you can't say there's a problem with the housing market. You're never going to go out and buy a house because there was a problem in a bubble back in 2007, 2008. Just, it was a profitable market to be in. So you find people who take advantage, and the same thing happens with cryptocurrency. There's nothing wrong with the coins. There's nothing wrong with the process. What's wrong is the people who try to take advantage of it. So AWS goes through a great length in order to show people that what we're doing is an actual physical product. And when you invest in it, you're actually investing in that process.
Cynthia, you were actually invited. Can you tell us about how you were invited there, and you went to their mining farms and how transparent the company is? Because that was one of the big questions I had, you know, because there was mining companies out there that said they were mining and they really weren't. They were just taking our money. Everybody wants to know. Cynthia can prove that. She proved it to me, but maybe you could tell us your story about to go into Paraguay.
Yeah, actually, my husband and I visited the farm back in January. And it really was just, I was already very comfortable with it. You know, I didn't want to market something and put my name all over something that I didn't know 100% was true. And again, working on the back end of things prior to our launch, I did see when equipment was coming in and there was unboxing and unveiling of stuff and things were going on the shelves when we were putting things up. Mr. Badusky is really, really good about sharing video and everything as they go along, but I really, you know, underestimated the power of just having to be there. You know, a lot of people would be like, well, when can they visit the farms and when can they see the equipment and have I touched it myself? And to me, there were just questions that were like, well, why do I have to touch it myself? Why do I have to see it myself? I'm looking at videos of this all day long, but that trust factor that I had with Mr. Badusky coming in, a lot of people I understand didn't have. They didn't have the opportunity I had to work with him in the background, to learn about his personality and what was going into the company. But we were doing fairly well when we went to Paraguay back in January. We were already managers, and I'll tell you guys, in about a period of 60 to 90 days, just by me being there and showing people, hey guys, this is real and I'm touching this, our business quadrupled, became vice president today. And just kind of flew through the ranks. Thank you. But honestly, I mean, that's really just that's on the teams, guys. You know, I didn't buy $2 million worth of plans. You know, the team did, and they went out there and they had confidence. But again, it just goes to show you the power of just being able to be in those farms. And those farms are set up specifically for that reason. And we have one in Anhui that should be that's in China, that should be opening up soon for touring for people who are on that side of the world, along with the one in Russia that we're very excited about getting that set up also. And it's, I know everybody wants to get inside of every farm. Guys, it's not necessary. You know, and some of these countries have very strict regulations, and they don't want people just walking around the farms and taking pictures and disrupting, you know, their work. I think it's extremely generous of the company to be able to set up these farms and data centers where they do allow people to come in and see what we're doing. And, you know, after working now for a strong, legitimate one, you can almost sniff out the fake ones like that. And it's our, to me, this is our crown jewel. Right. You know, having these farms that people can visit and having a payment system that doesn't hold payments, it doesn't charge fees, it doesn't give you an excuse. You know, I've been in stuff where they tell you can withdraw only on Saturday between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then you miss the window every week and I can't withdraw my money. Or, you know, they hold it for 2 weeks and tell you, oh, we're processing it. Guys, this is Bitcoin. This is cryptocurrency. There's no reason why it should take 2 weeks to process a payment that is supposed to take 2 minutes on blockchain. Right. Or another red flag. I do want to touch on something, if I can. You're going to find a particular company, I'm not going to say which, but I'm sure you'll figure it out very quickly, that really likes to discredit not just AWS mining, but any mining company in general by saying that if you're not on this big giant pie chart that blockchain shows you online, that if you're not on this big giant pie chart that you're not actually mining, because they happen to be on that pie chart.
BitClub Network, you're probably talking about.
I didn't say it, but
well, listen,
that John brings it up.
I want to say something, and I want to back what she's saying up. BitClub Network got me on that. I could tell you from experience, I have money in quite a few areas of cryptocurrency. I've made a lot of money, and I lost a lot of money, and I've seen a lot of scams. But BitClub Network does not pay. They pay such little because of the pools, and I didn't realize that. because of when you're in a mining pool, unlike AWS is not part of a mining pool, and maybe you could explain this a little better than me. You get diluted with everybody in the pool. Everybody has to take a piece of that pie.
Right.
And it's gotten to the point where they're just not keeping up with their promises. So Bit Club Network, I'll say it because I'm in it, and I call the shots like it is. I don't, if something's paying and working, I'll say, hey, they're good. If something's not, they're not. And there's a reason why I'm sitting here right now with everybody talking about AWS, putting videos on my channel, working with Jim and Josiah, and AWS is the real deal, man. I'll hand it back over to you.
Well, no, I appreciate that. But I always question why you feel the need. If you're a mining pool and you're a miner and you do your business, just do your business. But you're purposely misleading people and affiliates in your group into believing that no one else is doing what you're doing because they're not in this list. That list is a mining pool, as John indicated. We're not a mining pool, we're miners. The difference is basically, let's say you have a giant house with a giant swimming pool and you invite all your friends over for a pool party. You own the pool, it's your house, I'm just a guest in it. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna enjoy myself, I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna have a few drinks, whatever, and then I'm gonna go home. You still own the pool, I've gone home. I've reaped the benefits of being there. And that's the difference between a mining pool and being a miner. We don't own a pool where all these miners are coming in and eating up all the profits. As John indicated, we enter pools, and there's several that we use. There's Slush Pool, there's Ant Pool, and you'll find those on the list also. And we're able to go in and feel it out. And if it reaches 50% of its hash rate, we are able to just exit it and go into another pool. So it gives us the flexibility of being able to go from pool to pool and not hang out where the big party is, where everybody's basically using up all the resources. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that makes mining profitable and not profitable is its difficulty level. And if you have a lot of miners in the same pool, all fighting to solve the same problems and equations, the difficulty rating goes up and the profitability goes down. So we're able to move from pool to pool in order to make sure that we're not losing our profitability. It's also one of the reasons why we've added additional coins to our mining lineup. Because there are times where the Bitcoin just isn't as profitable as it can be. When we started this project, a Bitcoin was worth $2,500. It's what, over 8,000 now? And it went up to as high as 19,000 over the holidays. It made it so that there were more people mining it, and it became less profitable to mine. So we added Ethereum, we added Monero, we added Zcash. Most recently, we added Bitcoin Cash. And the purpose of having these coins is to be able to keep the profitability up. So if one coin is doing poorly, another one makes up for it. So that we're not, pulling the return out of the air, but we're making sure it's not on a steady decline also because of the market.
Right. That is absolutely brilliant. And I could tell you that because I'm in a lot of these mining operations. Nobody does it like AWS. It's the most profitable mining right now. And that's the reason why I'm taking all my mining profits from all of my mining investments, and I'm funneling them into AWS 100%.
And I do that with total confidence. I know they tell you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and I'm totally
I'm the same way. And here's the thing. The only reason why I'm doing it is because I go, look, I'm a capitalist. I'm a business owner. I'm here to make money too, and it's not a business smart idea to put the same amount of money in one company and see a quarter of the returns that you can get with another company. It's stupid. It's a bad investment. It's a poor investment.
Right.
To do that. So it took me a while. It took me a lot of money and a lot of time to figure this out. But I'm coming to everybody with my story, and saying, hey, if you want to make the most amount of money, the most profits with the best team, here's another thing. The team here blows any other team away.
Yeah.
All of us here are here to help everybody. Everybody picks up the phone.
Everybody.
We're creating a community.
There's no animosity. There's no biting at each other. Anybody has a question. And what's funny is that if anybody comes on with a bad attitude, everybody else joins in like, dude, what's the problem? We're all here having fun, making money.
They won't last.
They don't last very long. And I like to sit back sometimes when people ask questions. I used to be very quick to just want to hurry up and answer. Now I just kind of lay back a little bit, see what everybody's learning. Because at the end of the day, we want to create more leaders. We want to create more people who can do what you're doing, with these Zooms and build teams, because there's no fun doing it on your own, right? You don't want to be the only one sitting making money and the rest of your team is losing. And Jim will tell you, I spent many, many, many months not making a penny, just giving away leads and giving away contacts and grouping people on teams just so they can work together, and just sitting back in the cut like, oh,
Well,
when is my paycheck coming?
You're a true servant leader, and you're building your team building.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. There were times I couldn't, pay the bills, but
let me tell you,
I believed in the project.
James worked on me because I was in so many different. Remember, James? You're like, yeah, AWS. I'm like,
Yes.
James, I'm busy. I'm putting 10 grand here. I'm getting an ICO. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Right.
I got into lending platforms, and I think Cynthia, you may know my story, but I did a little interview, and I got into all these, lending platforms like BitConnect and all those that just kind of all went away, and a lot of people lost. Some people lost life savings. It was sad, but I learned. I didn't really know the back office. Because I got into it and I kind of let it sit, and then I figured out, wow, I'm making a lot of money. I didn't really do a whole lot. And that's what the funny thing, because I promoted it, but not,
And I think one of the things you may have said, if I'm quoting correctly, which is very common, and I heard it quite a lot when we got started, is that our ROI wasn't high enough. When you compare it to some of these other companies and these high yips that were paying 5% a day, 2.5% a day.
Right. The lending platforms were the big rave back then. And I'm like, why am I going to go? Because again,
it's only good as long as you're able to get out what you put in, right? So you're getting paid fast money. Well, I hope you're getting paid as fast as they're going to crash before they crash. So who wants to talk some numbers then? All right. I mean, at the end of the day, this is business, right? And,
absolutely.
We'll grow teams all day long. So what I love most about this is that the return is the same for everybody. It doesn't matter if you have a $40 plan or a $40,000 plan, it all pays the same. Why? Our mining rigs don't produce more money for the ones who invest more. All right. So, it's actually an actual product that's coming out, and as much as you make is just as much as you invest. So 15% is what it pays monthly. It may not sound like a lot, but I don't know any bank that you could put your money into where you're going to get that in a year, let alone in a month.
Right.
Even the 0.5% they're paying a day, some banks won't give that to you in a year. So in that regard, it pays, and it pays daily, it pays quickly. You want to see more money come out of your investment? Invest more money. You can do it at your leisure. You can grow it at your own pace. You can start small, go large. I always ask people, how much do you want to make a day, a week, a month, and then tailor your plans around that. Do it at your own pace. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere. But my favorite part of the program is the affiliate program, right? I'm a network marketer, and there's nothing like sharing the program. And you have, again, an affiliate program that pays you the very same day, not a week, not a month. It's all paid in Bitcoin. It's all paid in minutes. You can literally join this program and get paid minutes later. You get your link, you fund your account, you refer somebody else, boom, you've got money in your wallet that you can immediately withdraw. You're talking about all within 30 minutes here.
Right.
No any other program that does that. Don't sleep on the affiliate program. You go out and you have a good dinner or watch a good movie or go hang out, and you're like, yo, dude, you got to go try out this bar I just went to, or this, restaurant I just went to. It's the same thing. If you're making money, you're going to want to share it with whoever you think you want to share it with. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't talk to friends and family about this. I got burned too many times from other networks. I look at them and I'm just like, hi. They see me doing something. They don't ask. I don't tell, but they quickly start to wonder, what am I doing in Africa and Paraguay and all these other countries? But again, considering that this business has just kind of hit the ground running, I don't think $20,000 a week is so bad,
I say I'm glad, and if I can jump back in here, my mentors helped me out. They stepped in and took over for me for a little bit, so they got me a chance to breathe. So I wanted you, since you started talking about the network marketing side of things, I wanted to ask, a lot of people here, they're wondering, who do you see over the 10 months you've been with this company and very successful, who do you see coming in and investing? And also, who are the types of people that come in and do the affiliate side? I know me for one, I'm doing both. I'm earning, and as I'm earning, I'm investing. Who do you see doing the investing and then coming in and working the affiliate side of things?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think 90% of the people who are here are people who have been doing it and are tired of getting burned.
Mm.
Some people are new people that are just entering into the market. It's a very small percentage, honestly, of our lineup right now. I'm sure that's going to change going forward as cryptocurrency becomes more popular, especially here in the States. You're going to have a lot of newbies that are going to be coming in. I would say right now, 90% of our enrollment are people who have been doing this and doing this for either a short period of time or a long period of time, and are just tired of losing money over the get-rich-quick schemes and the scams and stuff like that. Plenty of people saw this in the beginning and walked away. They continued to do their scams, they lost their money, and they just got tired. And I tell people the same thing. Listen, if you're gonna go do something else, that's totally fine. Just open an account with us. Any amount, just throw money in there. Similar to John's story. Throw some money in there, come back later. They come back later, it's grown, it's still there, the company's still growing, and now you've secured a position that's networking and growing, and it's not costing you anything a month. There's no monthly fee, there's nothing coming out of your balance. Everything you've earned is still there. And people have come back surprisingly after going off to do something else and say, wow, I have more money than when I started.
Right.
And I did nothing. And a lot of people just leave, come back. And the more popular we get, they realize that they're missing the boat. And I think that's awesome. I take a little bit of pride in sitting back in the cut and waiting for people to return to say, oh, I see you're finally in India. And I'm like, no, we've been there. You just didn't want to ride that boat with me. And that's totally fine. I put a great deal of respect and honor into the people who started this with us in the beginning, have stuck it out. And I value even more the ones who realize that this is a place that they can come to and be safe and be amongst friends and other like-minded business people who are going to help them continue to grow. So it's all right. We got a revolving door.
Totally. And again,
comes back.
Right. Eventually, if they can, they at least get to see it from afar. But you've done amazing this with your Team Nova. And, a lot of people that have been watching my videos and they've been hearing Team Elite, what me, John, and James have been building. And my two real good friends, Shopify Dan and then Sam down there. And pretty much, like you were saying, there is no competition here. I didn't create Team Elite to compete with Team Nova USA. We want to help each other. So, there's going to be things that Cynthia and James help, and then there's going to be times John and Dan and Sam are available. So it's really totally in unison. So let me say, as a father, I see this as a lifesaver. All right. I live in a very small area. There's industries leaving more than there are businesses starting, and being able to work from home and make an income that's sustainable has pretty much changed my entire life. So, how do people usually react when, they actually get started and they give it a little time and then they look back? How do people usually react when they give it a chance and then take a look at it?
With a lot of gratitude, actually. There's almost like a humbling sense to it. I find a lot of people just come back if they didn't try it before, and some of them are even apologizing. And I'm like, dude, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to prove anybody wrong. We're not here to say that we're better than anybody else. We're just here to give people a chance that they're not able to get, anywhere else. And they kind of come back and feel the need to have to apologize or say, sorry, I didn't believe in it in the first round. Listen, we're not here for that. We're just here to, help you grow a business, help you make some money. My job is not just to show you how to double your money. This is not just a double your money program. Right. And that's so important. And I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? So we sell these profitability contracts that you continue to earn until you reach 200% in your mining. All these other affiliate programs and bonuses that we give doesn't add up to that, just your mining bonus. So, I get a lot of questions like, okay, I put in $10,000, I make $20,000, right? And I'm like, wrong. You earn $20,000 in Bitcoin, but transfer it out every chance that you get, because every single time you transfer out of your back office, it is calculated in US dollars, but it's paid in Bitcoins. If the market is doing real crappy that day, that's an excellent day for you to transfer out your Bitcoins, because you're buying it at a lower value. Mm-hmm. Every time you transfer money out of your back office, you are essentially buying Bitcoins, because that is how we're paying you that income. Mm-hmm. It is an investment inside of an investment. You're not just doubling your money. You're doubling the amount of Bitcoins that you have, or tripling it, or quadrupling it. And as that grows in the market, you have an investment that is growing with you. I do not advertise this as a double your money program, because if that's all you're doing and leaving it in the back office until it doubles, you're doing yourself an injustice, because this market offers so much more than just a 200% return.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Just from seeing, you know, the bonuses. I mean, because I got a few contracts already. Again, and I'll tell people I just started 2 weeks ago and I already see it happening. But, you know, I made this much compared to what the mining is. 90% of what I earned so far is just telling people about it and sharing a link. You know, so I mean, there's way more than just, you know, investing and gaining the money. For everybody that hasn't stepped into this and tried this, you know, before, tried making their own money online and building their own business, what would you say, Miss Cynthia, would be one of the most valuable tips, one of the most important pieces of information you can give somebody that's just starting out, it's going to lead to them their success in this?
Just do it. Scared money don't make money. Right? Just do it. If you want to try something, just try it. If it looks like it's a bad idea, chances are it's a bad idea. I don't ask anybody who joined the program if they don't trust it, if they don't like it, if they're not sure, then don't. Do your research. I don't like to do research for people. People ask me all the time, well, how confident am I in it? Can I assure them this or that? Or they'll do it if I say to do it. Don't do any of that. I have 3 kids. I don't have 30,000. All right. I can coach my own kids on what to do. I don't coach people on what to do. I coach you on the business. And if you want to be in the business, how to grow the business. But if you like the concept and you want to try it, just try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You put in a couple $100, you lose a couple $100. Okay, fine. You know, you don't want to lose that much, $40, whatever. Put in whatever you feel comfortable with it. But I am 100% confident that whatever I put in, I'm going to get out, if not more so. Just one of my accounts, let's say I bought a $2,000 plan. It's made over $5,000 in mining bonuses, only because I added a couple of other plans to it. But it's made $300,000 in 6 months' time in the affiliate program. So
I'm sorry, did you say what? Can you say that number one more time?
I'm sorry, that was a 3 with a couple of zeros. I lost track.
Oh boy. All right. So because people like numbers, I guess. So
people like numbers, but listen, I don't say that to show off, and I don't want to give people an unattainable goal. There are people on my team who make $3,000 a month. There's some that make it a day. There's some that make it a week. You know, I was sitting here with one of my managers the other day, and she does not like to talk to anyone. You know, she just throws a phone number at me every once in a while. And I looked at her and I was like, what are you making, like $5 grand a month now, whatever? She was like, psst. I said, what, it's not that much? She goes, I'm making that a week. I said, oh, man, all right, well, you're doing better than I.
There you go.
This isn't even somebody that I hear from, you know, but she likes it so much that she's just like, I'm making money. It's 15% a month, and you can do the affiliate program or not. It's free. Go talk to such and such, and they sign up.
That's it.
That's it. You know, it doesn't need to be overly complicated. You just add a personal element, you know, to what it is that we do. Have conversation with people. And if somebody asks what you do, if you guys have full-time jobs and day jobs and other things that you do, if anybody asked me what I was doing, even if this wasn't my full-time job, this was the only description that I gave them. I mine cryptocurrencies. I sell cryptocurrency digital coin mining plans. And, you know, they start, for people who don't know what it is, they're going to inquire. They're like, what is that? I build, you know, cryptocurrency mining networks, whatever it is. Just make it sound fancy.
Well, it's kind of like we're printing our own money. You know, that's what
exactly. We create digital currency.
You know, we're using those computers, we're leasing them to those mining rigs to actually create Bitcoin. So it's likened to mining or mining for gold, but like printing your own cash, you know. I mean, it's kind of. I make cash. I like cash because it always comes out to cash in the end. But hey, why not one more quick thing I wanted to ask you about, because I saw some of your videos, and anybody get a chance to watch some of Cynthia's videos. She's got great educational videos.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, and do you recommend, or kind of do you your own self do the reinvesting of profits into AWS, the compounding effect kind of? Can you touch on that a little bit? Okay. Awesome.
I don't market it, you'll notice. I think it's a great way to grow your portfolio, and I don't fear it at all. I think I have plenty of customers who take the money, put it back in, take the money, put it back in, because they're generating income and they're growing portfolios that they couldn't grow with their own income. I just don't like marketing it, because I think the concept of forcing that mentality that you have to keep putting it back in is always a red flag to me with some of these businesses. So I don't want to come off as the business that keeps encouraging you to lock your money back in. I was introduced to a program a couple of weeks ago. I had to laugh because I didn't get it. My husband was actually screaming at me, telling me, "No, Sin, this is what they're doing." And I'm like, that's impossible because it's criminal. But they had an affiliate program, much like we have. They're doing mining, much like we're doing, except I know we own the machines. But you could only cash out your mining bonuses. Your affiliate bonuses, all your referrals, your residuals, all that stuff that you made, which is really 75% sometimes of your income, had to be used to buy more plans. And these guys were all like brainwashed into thinking, I'll be a millionaire and have $50 million in 3 years because I'm putting all my money back in. And I just don't think that's a wise thing to do. Just transferring your money out alone, you're putting it into a Bitcoin wallet that's going to grow in value. Why are you forcing me to have to keep buying more plans? Maybe I don't want any more plans.
Right.
You know, why am I working in order to do that? It's a great way for people to grow their portfolio if they want to.
Right.
I don't push the bar on that. If people say, hey, Sin, this is all I have, I'm not going to have any more money, how can I reinvest so that it keeps growing? I'm happy to discuss it with you. But I don't think it should be a marketing niche, only because to me, that's just a way of some companies getting you to keep your money in there so that you never have to withdraw it. And it just ends up disappearing.
Definitely.
So I prefer for people, if you want to reinvest. But here's another concept too, right? You're not earning at an alarming rate. If you're not doing the affiliate program, you're earning at a rate of about 0.5%. If you're starting with a small package, let's say $200 or whatever, you're earning what, $1 a day? It takes a long time for you to be able to keep reinvesting. So I don't tell people to compound so much because it can take them 2 months before they actually accumulate enough to compound. What I tell people is just buy plans whenever you can.
Definitely.
Take new money, put it in. Take new money, put it in. And as you're earning more income, take out what you have. It's Bitcoin. But if you have $40 today and you want to buy another plan, go buy another plan. Why are you waiting 5-6 weeks for something to grow or compound? You're losing. To me, every day that you're not investing is a day that you're losing.
Right.
So I tell everybody, as soon as you have a chunk of change, throw it back in, buy another plan. Because they all run separately of each other anyway. Right? So if you have $600, go buy a plan for $600. Don't sit around and wait 6 months to go buy a plan. But to me, that just doesn't make sense. And in the meantime, you've got money accumulating in your back office that you could have withdrawn already and had been earning Bitcoins as it's growing. So as it's sitting in your back office, which is something you need to remember, it's not gaining any value, right? Because it's there in US dollars. So if the Bitcoin is doing really good on the market, you're losing out because your money's sitting in the back office when it could be sitting in a Bitcoin
point. That's a really good point. Now, I personally, like I said, I'm reinvesting and I'm putting new money in, and It's only for a short period of time. It's just a strategy I have. And people ask me, what do you do? For at least 6 to 12 months, I'm going to reinvest and add money, about 6 months or so. And then I'm going to take money out. But I also may actually reinvest part of it then, like maybe only 25 or 50%, and then pull out 50%.
Right. But what's a good thing to do is transfer it. If you're going to reinvest it, rather than hold it in the back office, as long as you have that $30 minimum, put it in your wallet. Put it in your Bitcoin wallet, your MyCoinDeal wallet, and let it grow there.
Let it grow in your Bitcoin wallet.
So that when you are ready to put it back in, it's more than what you started with.
Exactly, because Bitcoin rises. And that was a good point, because this is a little hard for people to understand, because we're getting paid out in US dollars, but once you put it in your wallet, it converts it to Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin's volatile. It can go up or down. It's right now, like you said, it was around 8,500 or somewhere around there. But if it goes from 8,500 to 10,000 and you had it in Bitcoin, you're going to make the difference up in the value of Bitcoin. And I think that's a really, a lot of people think it's better just to do what you said, because you'll make it up with the Bitcoin rising. Now, Bitcoin has been sideways for a long time. It's been hitting resistance a lot. But in that case, here's the thing. Here's another thing that I had thought about and started doing the numbers. If Bitcoin, say, crashed a little bit, and you had it in Bitcoin, and let's say it went down from 8,000 to 6,000, and it actually has before 67, 600. If you're mining, you're not taking those losses.
Right.
That's pretty cool, because they're still getting the 0.5% or close to it You're not
Right.
taking the drastic losses if you had, you know,
Yeah.
$5 grand or
If it's
10 grand.
crashing, leave it in your
Right.
back office. Wait until it
Right.
hits rock bottom. Buy as much of it as you can by
Right.
withdrawing, and now it's
And
all
then it goes back up. See, that's a strategy that a little more advanced than probably people can maybe follow right now. But once you get into this, I think you'll understand how Bitcoin works for the newbies
Yeah.
out there.
Right. I know a lot of these guys that are learning more and more. They're going to be getting added to our groups, and we're having these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Soon to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, a little bit earlier for people in different time zones. But yeah, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. My good friend John Garofano, my good friend James Corbett, you know, and my two strong team leaders, Mr. Shopify Dan and Sam Marlette, and of course our lovely and wonderful guest tonight, Miss Cynthia Petion, man, a true beacon of success. Well, hard work with care and consideration for somebody else. She got here by caring about other people and helping them, and that's what these guys do every single day. They work with us, they teach us, they get us on the phone, they get us in the messenger, and they don't give up. They keep going and teach us and teach us. So I really want to welcome everybody. Make sure you get on Facebook, follow Team Elite, find Cynthia's group, of course, facebook.com/AWS Mining, Team Nova. You're just going to get value out of it, and we're going to work with you one-on-one. So thank you, guys. And Miss Cynthia, thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure, guys. Again, any questions you have, you'll find us. Just keep an eye out.
That's right. So with that, we'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Josiah, Mr. Therapy Kostek, reminding you, keep stacking odds in your favor for success. We'll see you on the next one.